Hi friends, welcome to classes by Lab Doctor. I am Dr. Divya, and in today's class let us see about the sperm agglutination, or what is the difference between sperm agglutination and sperm aggregation. Now what is the actual meaning of agglutination of the sperms? So when we do the microscopic analysis of the semen, sometimes you will see that this motile spermatozoa which are there, they are attached to each other. This is called as sperm agglutination. Remember, it is the motile spermatozoa. जो sperms move हो रहे हैं, that if they are attached to each other, they are called as sperm agglutination. So depending upon the agglutination, you will get the result as positive for agglutination or negative. That means positive matlab yes, the motile spermatozoa have been sticking to each other, and negative means there is no motile spermatozoa which are sticking to each other. So this is called as agglutination. What you can see here. Here the spermatozoa whichever are moving, they are attached to each other. But why this becomes important? See, agglutination में क्या हो जाता है, जो sperms move हो रहे थे, they are attached to each other. तो the movement itself is restricted. वो उसको move ही नहीं होने दे रहा है. And basically sperms का काम क्या है? They have to move and they have to meet the egg. Suppose if they are not able to move and meet the egg, that will cause infertility. So severe agglutination अगर हो जाता है, this will hamper the movement of the sperm. It may cause infertility. And also अगर ऐसा agglutination है, we also will not be able to analyze the sample properly because of this crumpling or because of this adhering of the sperms. So this high percentage of sperm agglutination can be a cause of male infertility because it hinders their progressive movement and therefore prevents the fertilization. So if the sperms do not move through the female reproductive tract, then they may not be able to meet the egg and pregnancy may not occur. So these are the different types of agglutination that can occur, and the WHO has classified them into category A, B, C, D and E, and also it has graded them as grade A, B, C, D. So what are the different categories? First one is head to head. So these motile spermatozoa, they may attach to each other from head to head. So that is head to head agglutination. Sometimes what happens, this motile spermatozoa, they might attach tail to tail. See, the heads are seen as free and only the tails are attached. Then there will be tail tip to tail tip. So these moving sperms, they are attached to each other only by the tail tips. The heads are free. Then there will be mixed. So here there will be a clear head to head and tail to tail agglutinations will be there. So there will be a mixed combination, and then would be the tangle. So here the head and tail are all enmeshed. So it is not very clear to identify which parts are attached. So that is the last category. And similarly we have the grades also. So grade 1 is when there are less than 10 sperms which are agglutinating in the sample. So 90 of the sperms are free. That is grade 1 or 1 plus. Suppose in the sample we see that 10 to 50 sperms are agglutinating and only 50 sperms are motile. That becomes the grade 2 plus. And suppose if there are more than 50 sperms they are agglutinating and some of them are free, that is grade 3. And fourth is, or 4 plus, when all the sperms are entangled, they are interconnected, that is grade 4. So this is the grade. Sometimes we classify them as 1 plus, 2 plus, 3 plus also. So grade 1 is less than 10 sperms per agglutination. Many sperms will be free. Grade 2 is the agglutination has a group of 10 to 50 spermatozoa, but there are free spermatozoas also. Grade 3 is more than 50 spermatozoas are there in an agglutinate. Very few sperms are there which are free. And grade 4 is all spermatozoas are agglutinated and the agglutinations are interconnected. So now how do we differentiate whether this is agglutination or aggregation, or what is the difference between agglutination and aggregation? So Agglutination is when the motile sperms have joined together, whereas aggregation is when the immotile sperm cells are attached to each other. It should be immotile sperms. Suppose if the immotile sperms are attached to each other, that we call as aggregation. Or if the motile sperms are attached to the mucus or other cells or cellular debris, it is called as एग्रीगेशन. सो एग्लूटिनेशन में क्या होता है, ये जो मोटाइल स्पर्म्स है वो वन अनदर से ज्वाइन होते हैं. दिस इज द मेजर डिफरेंस. यहाँ पे स्पर्मेटोजोआ मूविंग होते हैं. दी स्पर्म्स आर मोटाइल, दे कम टुगेदर, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज एग्लूटिनेशन. और एग्रीगेशन में इमोटाइल स्पर्म्स, अगर वो स्पर्म्स मूव नहीं हो रहे, वो they are coming together, that is called as aggregation. तो ये aggregation है. आप देखो यहाँ पे sperms move नहीं हो रहे, तो they have come together, that is called as aggregation. या तो वो sperms move हो रहे थे but they are attached to कोई mucus cells है, या तो कोई other cells को attach हो गए, या तो कोई debris को attach हो गए, उसको हम बोलते हैं aggregation. तो आपको this difference has to be remembered. So when I say agglutination, दैट इज द मूविंग स्पर्म्स. ये जो स्पर्म्स मूव हो रहे थे वो एग्लूटिनेशन होता है. एग्लूटिनेशन बहुत ही हमको हैम्पर करता है मोटिलिटी को, तो दिस बिकम्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. और ये बहुत ही वाइटल होता है जब हम ये असेस करते हैं. तो एग्लूटिनेशन में हम मोटाइल स्पर्म को एसेस करते हैं. दिस इज द मोटाइल स्पर्म्स विच हैव कम टुगेदर एंड दे आर हैम्परिंग द मूवमेंट. वेराज एग्रीगेशन में क्या होता है, ये इमोटाइल स्पर्म्स है. इमोटाइल जो मूव ही नहीं हो रहे थे, ऐसे वाले स्पर्म्स यहाँ पे आके वो स्टिक टुगेदर हो जाते हैं. या तो जो मोटाइल स्पर्म्स भी थे वो कोई और सेल्स को अटैच होते हैं, या तो म्यूकस स्ट्रैंड्स में अटैच होते हैं, एंड यू नो टू सम अदर सेल डेब्रिस. दैट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन एग्रीगेशन एंड एग्लूटिनेशन. So, what are the causes of this sperm agglutination? So there are various causes for sperm agglutination. One of the cause is the anti-sperm antibody. So ये जो anti-sperm antibody होता है, they will attach to the sperm and they will hamper the motility. कभी कभी अगर very high concentration of sperms रहा in the ejaculate, that also might cause agglutination. सपोज द pH ऑफ द स्पर्म अगर चेंज हो गया, एंड pH ऑफ द स्पर्म्स आपको पता है इट वेरीज बिकॉज ऑफ द एक्सेसरी ग्लैंड्स ड्यू टू इन्फ्लेमेटरी प्रोसेस हो, इन्फेक्शंस हो एक्सेट्रा. अगर वहाँ पे वो एक्सेसरी ग्लैंड्स का सेक्रीशंस चेंज हो गए, देन इट कैन कॉज द changes in the agglutination also. And increase in body temperature like fever etc हो गया, then also sometimes you might see agglutination. Or certain types of bacteria infections can cause agglutination in the semen. So extremely high concentration of sperms might cause agglutination. Changes in the pH might cause agglutination. Fever might cause agglutination, and also certain infections, bacterial infections can cause agglutination. So now I told you one of the causes for agglutination was anti-sperm antibodies. So you can see here this is a sperm and these are the antibodies which are produced against the sperms. So there are two types of antibodies which are produced against the sperm. One is IgA antibody and second one is IgG. So these anti-sperm antibodies, they adhere to the spermatozoa because this sperm acts as a powerful antigen, and this antibody identifies them as an foreign body, and ये antibody उसको sperms को attack करता है. तो जब attack करेगा तो sperm count कम हो सकता है, motility hamper हो सकता है. So normal conditions में क्या होता है, the testis में एक ब्लड टेस्टिस बैरियर रहता है, वेरिन वो टेस्टिस के अंदर का जो स्पर्मेटोजोआ है उसको आउटर एरिया से एक्सपोज करने नहीं देता है. यहाँ पे आप देखोगे ये एक स्पर्म है और ये एंटीजन है, ये IgA हो सकता है या IgG हो सकता है. तो ये एक टेस्टिस के अंदर रहेगा ये बैरियर। सो ये आप देखोगे ये जो बैरियर रहता है बहुत टाइट रहता है and it will not allow anything to come inside this, like we have the blood brain barrier, this is the blood testis barrier. So sometimes what happens because of यहाँ पे कोई infection हो गया या तो if there is any problem, this antibodies can enter the blood testis barrier and they can destroy the sperms. So if this blood testis barrier is broken down, this ASA anti-sperm antibodies would enter the testis and they will destroy this spermatozoa. Sometimes what happens in when the sexual intercourse occurs, the female body which will detect this spermatozoa as foreign body, that way can also produce this anti-sperm antibodies. So like I've told you, the blood testicular barrier can rupture in case of seminal infection हो, वेरिकोसील हो, टेस्टिकुलर टॉर्शन, ये जब टेस्टिस अपने आप में रोटेट हो जाता है तो वो बैरियर ब्रेक हो सकता है, then also there can be damage. Surgical procedure like vasectomy can damage. So all things can cause the anti-sperm antibodies. And also I have told you, like in the women sometimes they develop anti-sperm antibodies because they have some gynecological infections or there is some inflammation in the genital tract, and that time they will identify sometimes this sperms also as a foreign body and they might also end up producing the antibody to these sperms. So in any case, the this anti-sperm antibodies, they will adhere to these sperms and they will inhibit the progressive motility of the sperm and they might cause infertility. So how do we treat such cases of anti-sperm antibody? So suppose वो फीवर से है या तो कोई इन्फेक्शियस प्रोसेस से ऐसे उनको एंटीबॉडी डेवलप हो रहे हैं, तो आफ्टर जब हम वो इन्फेक्शंस को ट्रीट करें या फीवर को ट्रीट करें या कॉज को ट्रीट करें, there should be reasonable decrease in the anti-sperm antibodies and the sperms might become normal. So what they do is, in such cases, once the infections are treated, fever reduces, everything, they will ask for a repeat semen analysis after the treatment and again carefully the sample is assessed for agglutination. So majority of the time अगर ऐसे चीज़ों से हो रहा है एंटीबॉडी, इन्फेक्शन से, फीवर से, जेनाइटल ट्रैक्ट बैक्टीरियल इन्फेक्शन एक्सेट्रा से, तो वो सबसाइड हो जाता है. But suppose if the antibodies are not going, or if there is again continued sperm agglutinations, sometimes we might require to put corticosteroids. Sometimes we might even required to put immunosuppressive therapy also. Sometime what it is done, sperm washing is done. ये sperms को wash करते हैं to remove the excess of antibodies, and then we use such sperms for IUI also. In cases wherein the sperm washing IUI fails, they might the IVF and ICSI also might help sometimes to achieve a successful pregnancy. That is all about the agglutination of the sperms. It becomes important because this is also one of the reasons which can hamper the movement of the sperms and also cause infertility. And there are various causes for this agglutination. One among them was this anti-sperm antibodies. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please like, share and subscribe the channel. Thank you.